Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special board meeting on Monday, May 3rd. It is 6 p.m. and I'm calling this meeting to order. Ms. Martin, take it over.
Mrs. Barker? Here. Mrs. Fairgrave? Here. Mr. Leffler?
Here.
Mrs. McCabe? Here. Mr. McNally?
Here.
Ms. Weibel? Here. And Mr. Manheim?
Here. Thank you. Will you please rise for the pledge? Okay, so next on our agenda is citizens' comments, but tonight we have Judge Hall here to swear in the new board, and he also is double booked tonight, so he needs to be downtown to welcome the new mayor and city council as well. So we're gonna do citizen comments at the end to be respectful of Judge Hall's comments. You're very welcome. Before we get to that, we do need to have a motion to approve the consent agenda. So moved.
Second.
Mr. McNally and Ms. McCabe. Ms. Martin, take it over.
Sure. Mrs. Fairgrave?
Yes.
Mr. Leffler?
Yes.
Mrs. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Ms. Weibel?
Yes.
Mrs. Barker? Yes. Mr. Manheim?
Yes. Motion passes. That takes us to our number 4, which is our board member recognition. I guess that's just me.
Well, thank you, Mr. Manheim. I'm actually going to jump in from here. So you are being recognized this evening. We want to thank you, Nicholas P. Manheim, for 10 years of service on the D33 Board of Education. You have served with 2 superintendents, 5 boards, many board members, too many to name. You have had some amazing accomplishments over your last 10 years. We wanted to celebrate and highlight a few examples. I'm going to try to go fast, but as people on this board know, I can be very chatty. So the first one we really want to highlight and recognize is your Norris Rec Center Park District and D303 Board of Education partnership. You were on the Norris board first before the Park District took over in 2016. You created a successful team, renovated and turned the business around to triple-digit successors, and put forth a top-level facility for our community. This involved many, many meetings and many hours of manpower above and beyond the duties of a board member. You shared the service award given by the state governor, Rauner, recognizing the district with an award for intergovernmental excellence for their partnership with the Park District. Early in your years, you pushed for air conditioner in the buildings. We want to thank you for that. Although we just turned ours down to make it a little bit colder in here, using your personal expertise as an architect to understand each building's need that didn't have it or had it only in sections. You toured and helped with recommendations, specifics, and support above, going above and beyond your regular board duties to help ensure our kids have AC and can be educated and learn in comfort. Mr. Manheim, along with your other members, you pushed for science labs in the middle schools, one that reflected the advancement of a district such as ours. You worked with one of our valued teaching assets in the community to make sure our new renovations of Thompson and the work in Redling reflected what our kids needed for cool classroom experiments. So let's talk about the Thompson renovation, shall we? Without referendum, we were able to do the Thompson renovation, which is a great accomplishment for this district, and you were part of that planning. $50 million project that you immerse yourself into with monthly meetings, monthly walkthroughs, revision meetings, and consults over at least 2 years. How do I know this? Because when I came through my monthly or so walkthroughs, I had always heard, well, Mr. Manheim was just here. Oh, Mr. Manheim just walked through here. Craig Lamp and his team had always said that you were just there checking things out, giving extra advice and support above and beyond the board member for zero salary, doing what's best for our kids. Why did he have his nose in all these facility goodness, you might ask? He showed his unprecedented partnership in business services for the 10 years he was on the board. The full tenure he was working with us, working closely with Dr. Chapman, Mr. Baird, and then ultimately with Mr. Smith and Mr. Chizar. Several board members and mentoring several of us on the board along the way. So let's talk about leadership with Nick, the quiet guy in the corner with the wacky hair. The man of few words, but when they come out, you better listen. They are important, smart, wise, and on target. This year with Nick as president, we accomplished a lot as a leadership team, a board, and a district. This morning, one of our legislators, when I was meeting with him over breakfast, paid us a compliment and said that they were proud of how we, D303, had navigated through the pandemic with strength and grace. Thank you, Nick, for your leadership. Many people have underestimated him, myself included. For that, I've said I'm sorry, and I am. I am so proud of you. Okay, not done. We are proud to have Nick lead us for the diversity, inclusion, and equity work we began this year to make sure all of our students feel that they are treated the same. We are glad he was part of the board that opened a successful early learning center for our very littles and offered an opportunity for early education. That he was here for the beginning of the conversation of affordable all-day kindergarten. He also was part of St. Charles being recognized as the lowest taxing body in Kane for 5 years. As being part of the Business Service Committee, he was integral in that part as well. It was a very long time, and it was due to, in part, his participation. Regardless, year after year, we are recognized for the perfect score for financial recognition for the State Board of Education. This is an accomplishment of the board and staff and a direct reflection of Mr. Mannheim investing his time and energies into the business service committees and the board. Thank you, Nick Mannheim, for your service for the last 10 years on the Board of Education on behalf of the whole board. What you've given to this community is an insurmountable amount of time and energy and love. We also want to thank Nick's family, Maddie and AJ, Madison and AJ, I should say, and their mom, Erin, for lending him to the district all that time over the last 10 years. It mattered as he gave back to and helped all those students, teachers in our community. We wish you the best on your next adventure. We don't know what it is, but we will see you around town, we know, wherever it may take you. Know that you will always be welcome back at D303. You might have to sit for a few meetings, though. But you're also always welcome back in our boardroom. Now, I encourage anyone else from the board to share with Nick any thoughts.
I'll start because I guess of the people at the table here, I've sat on the board with Nick the longest, although I think I'm just tied with a few other people who were predecessors on the board for 8 years. I've appreciated Nick's work. The one thing that, and I'll try to be brief, there is a lot I could say. I appreciated the work that was done whenever I had any architectural questions, I was always and I'll really end by saying that we've always had respectful conversations, agree or disagree, even in disagreement. My conversations with Nick were always respectful, and I'm going to miss him on the board. Thank you for your service. Thank you for 10 very long years.
I'll be quick. I have this year gotten to know Nick much better than I have in the past. The first year was in a blur. And as we've worked together this year, I've really come to appreciate your thought process. Like we're kind of thinking problems. You always come up with a dignified answer that just makes the most logical sense. So I'm going to miss that.
Mr. Mannheim, I've known you for a while, and I think Carolyn, Mrs. Weddle, nailed it with a lot of the insights of your leadership. I appreciate so much how available you were as board president, your sense of humor, quiet. Guess that the live stream is not broadcasting sound. So just on that. And then Mr. Mannheim, just, again, completely agree with everything that everyone has said. Thank you very much for your service over the last 2 years to this community. It certainly has been invaluable, and the expertise that you brought. And it was great also being able to get to know you on a personal level. So thank you.
So 10 years is an awful long time for any volunteer to contribute his time to the community. And I think that no board can make decisions that please all the people all the time. And for you to have offered that leadership over 10 years and shoulder the burden of the fact that not everyone will agree with you all the time is really commendable. So thank you for your service.
Before I pass it back to person, there's a couple cards in here for you. Just a little red velvet little treat in front of you, your favorite. And there's a little something from the board doing you can open it. You don't like it. Yeah. It would be useful in your retirement. I will pass it to Dr. Griffin.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Ms. Weddle, and I appreciate all that the board members have said this evening. It's very hard to capture all of the time and energy that it takes to be a board member. It is a volunteer position in this community and in this state, and it's hard to understand the endless hours of preparation and conversations and review of documents and learning about programs and just the investment that you make in the district and in the community. It really is a commitment and an act of service. And we are so grateful that you have served the district so well for so long. On behalf of the school board and the district, I have just a small token of appreciation. We will never be able to replace all of the hours that you have volunteered, but it is a recognition.
Well, thank you, everyone. As most of you do know, I don't speak. I try to put down a few words. I'll see if I can get through some of them. Try and make it quick. I'm going to skip some of it. Some of you may know that. Maybe a little fan of it. And they do these kind of hype videos and things. And there was one they put out in the spring about redemption and it becoming a rebirth. And redemption of being an arc in a story that you can't always predict because it flows like a river. And it kind of spoke to me when I was kind of reading it and listening to it, and it kind of just stuck in my head because I kind of think back in my 10 years on the board. And after year 1, I wasn't sure that I'd make it to year 2, let alone year 10, because it is a lot of work, as other board members know. And it's not always appreciated, and it's hard. But at the end of the day, I'm very proud of it, and that's where I'm going to kind of skip to the end part. So. So it's been an honor and privilege to serve the community the past 10 years in the school board. I'm not sure I could put into words all the great people that I have met, worked alongside, or even spoken to in passing. There are too many things to list that I'm very proud of for this district for. And I know it's an ever-evolving journey that takes time and patience and will continue long after me. I am no more important than anyone else who has given their time to this wonderful community, but I know I will always be proud of the work I was part of. I thank you all for the amazing support I've received over the years, even if it's just a vote. It's a vote that you believe in. My story isn't over, and I look forward to starting the next chapter. So, with that, thank you. All right, that concludes item 4. So my last item is I need a motion to adjourn to sine die.
So moved.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mrs. McKay,
Yes.
Mr. McNally,
Yes.
Ms. Weigel,
Yes.
Mrs. Barker,
Yes.
Mrs. Fairgrave,
Yes.
and Mr. Manheim.
Yes. Motion's good. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we're at the point of the meeting where we're going to actually swear in the new board members. And so we'd like to invite Mrs. Dahl also to join us please at the table. And we'll turn it over to Judge Paul, who is here to administer the oath of office. So Ms. Dahl, if you'd like to come up. So do the board members want to get sworn in at your seats, or do you want to stand? Seats? All right. Then I'm going to ask you first to just go ahead and stand in your location. And for the audience, my name is Clint Hall. I'm the Chief Judge of the 16th Judicial Circuit, a D303 grad. As a judge, you don't get to do very many happy things. I've been in criminal court for a long time. Weddings and swearing in are my favorite. And so I just want to say thank you to the district for allowing me to be here. I want to say thank you to the board and to Nick for all you do. We, as an elected official, I understand how hard a job you have, but I hope you understand as a community member that we appreciate everything that you do, and we know that it's hard. And so as you get ready to embark on another 4 years, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to, there's 2 parts to the oath. I've done a lot of different swearing in. This is the first time I've ever seen an addendum to the oath of office. So I'm going to have you repeat after me. And then after I get to the point where it says I further swear, I'm going to not have you repeat after me. I'm going to go ahead and repeat a paragraph and ask if you swear. I will ask you if you do. And then you can just say I do, and we'll go through it that way. So if you want to go ahead and raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of school board, Community Unit District 303, in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois, to the best of my ability. I further swear that, and I'm going to go read paragraph after paragraph, I swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. If you will, say I do. And you swear that you shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees. Do you swear that you shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can only be made by a majority vote at a public board meeting?
Do you swear that you shall abide by the majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels? Do you swear that as a part of the school board, you will accept the responsibility for your role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district? Do you swear that you shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for the Community Unit School District 303? Do you swear that you shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework? Do you swear that you shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement in all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with the state law? Do you swear that you shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students in our community schools to advance the vision for Community Unit School District 303? And do you swear that you shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district towards fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development? Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Judge Hull. We appreciate you coming in. It's always nice to see an alumnus here. Good luck with your next swearing in. All right, we want to move on to number 7, which is the motion to appoint President, Secretary Pro Tem. Can I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I'll have to say name, sorry. Ms. Marvin? Okay, now we can hit the roll. Thank you.
Mrs. Barker,
Yes.
Mrs. Bell? Yes. Mrs. Fairbree,
Yes.
Mr. Leffler?
Yes.
Mrs. McKay? Mr. McNally?
Yes.
And Ms. Michael?
And I should have welcomed Mrs. Bell to the table. So, welcome, Mrs. Bell. Now I turn it over. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a roll call, and following the roll call, we will start the board officer election, okay? Mrs. Bell? You just have to say, oh, sorry, here, yep. Mrs. Fairbree?
Here.
Mr. Leffler?
Here.
Mrs. McKay?
Here.
Mr. McNally?
Here.
Ms. Weigel?
Here.
And Mrs. Barker?
Here.
Okay, great. So now we're going to begin with the election of the board president. Are there any nominations for board president?
I would like to nominate Mrs. Barker. I would nominate Eddie Bell.
Are there any other nominations for board president? The last time, any nominations for board president? Okay, so the nominations for board president are now closed. And the nominees are Mrs. Barker and Mr. McNally. I'm going to now take a roll call vote for the office of the board president. So when I call your name, please state your preference for board president. Mrs. Fairbree,
Mr. McNally.
Mr. Leffler, so that is one vote for Mr. McNally. Mr. Leffler,
Mr. McKay.
okay, that's another vote for Mr. McNally. Mrs. McKay, so that is one vote for Mrs. Barker. Mr. McNally,
Mr. McNally.
thank you, that is one vote for Mr. McNally. Ms. Weigel,
Mrs. Barker.
Okay, that's another vote for Mrs. Barker. Mrs. Barker?
Mrs. Barker is voting for Mrs. Barker.
Okay, that's another vote for Mrs. Barker. And Mrs. Bell?
Mrs. Barker?
Okay, that's another vote for Mrs. Barker. So I have 4 votes for Mrs. Barker, and I have 3 votes for Mr. McNally. Congratulations, Mrs. Barker. You will now assume the role as board president.
Okay. We will now move to the election of the board vice president. Are there any nominations for board vice president?
I'd like to nominate Mrs. Gregory.
Are there any other nominations for board vice president?
I'd like to nominate Mrs. McCabe. I'm going to decline the nomination. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? I would like to nominate Mrs. Weigel. The nominations for board vice president are now closed. The nominees are Mrs. Fairgrave and Mrs. Weigel. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everyone out there. Mrs. Marsden will now take roll call vote for the office of board vice president. When she calls her name, please state your preference for the board vice president.
Mrs. Barker?
Mrs. Weigel.
Okay, that's 1 vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. Bell?
Mrs. Weigel?
Okay, that's another vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. Fairgrave?
Mrs. Fairgrave?
Okay, that's 1 vote for Mrs. Fairgrave. Mr. Leffner?
Mrs. Gregory.
Okay, that's 1 vote for Mrs. Fairgrave. Mrs. McCabe?
Mrs. Fairgrave?
Okay, that's 1 vote for Mrs. Fairgrave. Mr. McNally?
Mrs. Gregory.
Okay, that's another vote for Mrs. Fairgrave. Ms. Weigel?
Mrs. Weigel?
Okay, and that's a vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. Fairgrave has 3 votes, and Ms. Weigel, I'm sorry, I apologize. Mrs. Fairgrave has 4 votes, and Ms. Weigel has 3 votes.
Congratulations, Ms. Fairgrave. Ms. Fairgrave, you will now assume the role as board vice I will now move to the election of the board secretary. Are there any nominations for board secretary?
I'm going to nominate myself as board secretary.
Are there any other nominations? I am nominating Mrs. Weigel again. Are there any other nominations? The nominations are now closed for board secretary. The nominees are Mrs. McCabe and Mrs. Weigel. Mrs. Nathan will now take roll call for the office of board secretary. When she calls her name, please state your preference for board secretary.
Mrs. Barker?
Mrs. Weigel,
That's one vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. Bell?
Mrs. Weigel.
And that's another vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. Beardsley?
Mrs. McCabe.
And that is one vote for Mrs. McCabe. Mr. Wagner?
Mrs. McCabe,
And that's one vote for Mrs. McCabe. Mrs. McCabe?
Mrs. McCabe.
And that's another vote for Mrs. McCabe. Mr. McNally?
Mrs. McCabe,
And that's another vote for Mrs. McCabe. Ms. Weigel? And that's a vote for Ms. Weigel. Mrs. McCabe has 4 votes, and Ms. Weigel has 3 votes.
congratulations, Mrs. McKee. You will now assume the role as board secretary. And I'm going to give you the public comment of the meeting. I will now move to the election of board treasurer. Are there any nominations for board treasurer?
I nominate Dr. Chapman.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations last time? Okay, the nomination for board treasurer is now closed and the nominee is secretary. Ms. Mazan will take the roll call vote for the office of board treasurer. When she calls your name, please state your preference for board treasurer.
Mrs. Barker?
Dr. Chapman,
Mrs. Bell?
Dr. Chapman.
Sorry, that's the second vote for Dr. Chapman. Mrs. Beardsley?
Dr. Chapman.
That's a vote for Dr. Chapman. Mr. Wagner?
Dr. Chapman,
And that's another vote for Dr. Chapman. Mrs. McCabe?
Dr. Chapman.
That's another vote for Dr. Chapman. Mr. McNally?
Dr. Chapman,
And that's another vote for Dr. Chapman. Ms. Weigel?
Dr. Chapman.
And that's another vote for Dr. Chapman. Dr. Chapman has 7 votes.
and congratulations to Dr. Chapman, who will now assume the board role as board treasurer. Okay, so we have one item for action, that is setting the school board meeting calendar. Is there any discussion that anyone would like to have? Any discussion first? Do I have a motion?
Is there a second on the table?
Mrs. Reynolds?
I'll second.
Okay, great. Okay, now is there any discussion?
Is the motion that we're keeping the calendar as we had planned? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just mention, right now it does say administration center starting in July, and of course that's to be determined based on the available space, but I will update that. Really what you have to approve are the dates and the location can be determined.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Mazan, roll please.
Okay, Mrs. Bell?
Yes. Sorry. I was like, what word?
Mrs. Beardsley?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mrs. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. McNally?
Yes.
Ms. Weigel?
Yes.
And Mrs. Barker?
Yes. Okay, so that takes us to citizens' comments. Mrs. McCabe, would you please read the public comment?
The school code provides for a public comment period at each board meeting, subject to reasonable constraints. The practice of this board is to limit public comment to 3 minutes per speaker, to a total of 30 minutes at the beginning or the ending of the meeting. Speakers addressing the board are expected to maintain a reasonable level of civility. Also, personnel matters are sensitive and confidential. Comments regarding individuals should be respectful. Insults and defamatory remarks have no place in this setting. The board will terminate public comment if speakers cannot adhere to these guidelines. Please identify yourself at the beginning of your remarks.
Okay, it looks like our first name is Holly Gerhardt. Please come up.
Hi, my name is Holly Gerhardt. I am a Bell Graham Elementary parent. I am here tonight to ask the new school board to better represent their constituents for the upcoming school year. And this is specifically regarding COVID policies. As a parent, I've grieved over many losses over the last years, lost opportunities, missing out on key rites of passage, such as field trips, watching baby chicks hatch, group projects, conflict, decision-making, hands-on learning, empathy and feelings, seeing kids smile with their newly lost teeth. And this is just from an elementary experience. The older students have lost so much more. This school year was a loss, but please don't make next year be a loss too. Life is too short and these kids grow up too fast. Everything has a risk associated with it. We don't live in a zero-risk society, yet our least vulnerable are paying the most restricted price by masking and social distancing for 5 hours and 40 minutes, and next year it'll be 7 hours. Some people say masks don't bother kids, but my daughter will be speaking after me and letting you know that they do bother some kids. And I thank her for waiting patiently because we were supposed to speak at the beginning. A year ago, I thought the worst case scenario would be that we would get COVID. Instead, it has been a year plus of these unnecessary restrictions. Enough is enough. Let our sweet kids breathe. Let them smile. Let them interact and build important social and emotional skills. Let them problem solve together. Let them play. Let them be kids. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person on our list is Avery Goodhart.
Hi, my name is Avery Gerhardt. I go to Bell Graham Elementary School. And I think I don't like wearing a mask because it makes me feel upset. It makes me feel upset because when I come in from recess at school, my face is all sweaty. I've also been getting shadow taps. I don't know if it's because of screens or masks. And that is why I think masks should be optional. So people like me don't have to.
Thank you. Our next name is Lisa Raphael.
Hello, welcome and good luck to the new board members. I'm hoping with the new elected board members will come some new perspectives on our children's education and well-being. I would like the board to recall deep equity, and I would like the board to take a vote to make math optional for the upcoming school year. I've gone back and forth with some people on Let's Talk, and they've sent me some articles and references on the effectiveness of math, but I don't think anyone actually read these articles. Every article or study that I was sent stated that they were subject to limitations.
meaning that these studies were inconclusive. I will be emailing all of you a list of publications of various sources proving this point. This board went ahead and voted for deep equity before the JCAR committee voted on the new teaching requirement. So why can't this board vote on the mask mandate before JCAR votes on it on May 20th? You were all elected officials, correct? Well, you were elected by us, the parents. When was the last time any of you had a conversation with us parents about what we want for our children or what our children need? What makes you the rulers of our children's health? I'll tell you what, nothing. If you are so concerned about our children's health, then why are you giving out free food full of processed food, processed ingredients, and sugar? My son comes home with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, but you guys are so concerned about their health, right? Okay. If parents want their kids to wear a mask, great, but I'm not masking my children this next school year. There are 3 available vaccines and multiple treatments. We are past the 1-year mark, and our children still have to wear masks while they play outside. I will continue to speak out about this issue till it is dealt with. And no, I will not opt to e-learn again. I did that first semester, and my first grader will be entering 2nd grade not knowing how to read. I asked, where is the equity in that? Or does son's white privilege cancel his need to learn how to read? My child, my choice. Take the mask off our kids. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, Finley?
Hello, my name is Kathy McGinley. And again, I'd like to welcome new board members. Very excited. And wish you all the luck. Thank you ahead of time for all your sacrifice. I know it's a sacrifice. I'm just following up Lisa's comments because I talked to her today and we're on the same page. So I just want to reiterate everything she said. I am totally against these. It's way silly. We all know this. We are all logical, smart, intelligent people and know this is pretty much over because once we've all been either fully vaccinated or have had the opportunity to have one vaccine shot. I've had mine. The second one is coming up by June 1st. Everyone 16 years of age and older, really, if they want one, have had the opportunity to be fully vaccinated. So over a year ago, we all assumed, once we get vaccinated, we're good. Right? Am I wrong? Am I alone in my thinking? Come June 1st, we should be in the clear. And if we have to wear masks, if these kids have to wear masks, come August, whatever early time they're starting school, which is also another topic of discussion. But it's absolutely crazy. There was this article, New York Post opinion page. The CDC's cruel, irrational guidance traps our kids in the forever pandemic. I have 1 minute left. I could go on and on. I don't want to get on a soapbox like I can, but just please be rational. And the other question I have is, which I don't understand, and I would like some clarification through an email or some means. Obviously, you can't answer me. Public comments and not dialogue. But do the CDC and the IDPH issue guidelines? Because guidelines are, let's find my definition here. Let's see what a guideline is. A guide or indication of a future course of action. That's a guideline. A guide or indication of a future course. It's an indication, a guide. You don't have to do it. Is it a recommendation? A suggestion? It's a suggestion. You don't have to follow it. Or is it a mandate? An official order or permission to do something? And what's going to happen? What are the ramifications if the district does not
does not follow the mask it does not follow what Pittsburgh tells us to do, what are the ramifications? That's another answer I would like in an email. Is it just a fine? You don't get funding for next year. If you don't get funding, then maybe we have other options to help with funding. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Our next name is Elisa Ignash.
Hello, my name is Elisa Ignash. Congratulations to those of you that ran successful campaigns. We look forward to seeing you make a difference in the years to come. I am here with 2 calls of action tonight. The first is to again request a recall and equity vote, and the second is to ask that a mask be taken off of our children. My elementary school children cannot understand the phonics of teachers. The students are distracted by the discomfort of having a hot face. They cannot breathe during gym class, and my kindergartner's little voice cannot be heard from behind a mask by his teachers or his peers. The science does not support this requirement of masks. Our youngest learners are begging for help, and it is the job of every parent, community member, and the school board to get them that help. They are our children. They are the students of District 303, and we cannot ignore them. They are ours. They need us all to be their voices. Take these masks off of our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last citizen comment is Vincent B.
Hi, my name is Vincent Key. I'm a junior at St. Charles North, and I bring with me words from a fellow student, also a junior at St. Charles North, TJ Penix. I had a friend tell me she had never learned about Black history when she was in school. She had to teach herself about her own history. When I heard her say this, I realized it's been the same way for me, and that's pain. Yeah, we'd learn about MLK, Rosa Parks, and some other things for a brief moment of time. But why is it that we have to teach ourselves about our own history? Why is it that we don't learn about how African Americans used to be kings and queens? Why do my friends of different backgrounds have no exposure to teachings of their own history in school? To me, and hopefully to you, that is a problem. As a student, I feel it is important for us to find a way to implement a deeper teaching on the history and culture of minorities. Maybe an elective course, open up all, or something of that sort. But for us to understand each other, we have to understand ourselves too. For us to be able to do something like this, we have to provide all students with the same resources. It is unfortunate that in our community, if you are Black or Latino, you have a 25 to 30% higher, you have a higher chance of being illiterate or lacking the math skills that you need to function in society. Every child needs access to the tools they need to succeed. So how can each child reach their potential when they don't have the tools to access it? So why revote on deep equity? It's unfortunate that there are those in the community who believe that we need to take away the opportunities to support our own children, our own brothers and sisters in the community. And because of that, I believe, and many of my own fellow classmates believe, that deep equity should not be revoted on. It should not be removed. We should give every student we should give every student in our community a chance to be the best that they can be. Thank you for your time, and I hope you take my words to heart.
I want to say thank you to everyone who waited to make citizens' comments tonight. We expected to probably do this at the beginning. I appreciate your patience as we move through this meeting. That will end our citizens' comments, and I would like to adjourn the special meeting of the school board at I have a motion to adjourn the special meeting of the school board.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. McNally and Mrs. Marble.
Mrs. Fairbree,
Yes.
Mr. Lochner,
Yes.
Mrs. McCabe,
Yes.
Mr. McNally,
Yes.
Ms. Weibel,
Yes.
Mrs. Barker.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bell. Yes, and Mrs. Barker.
Okay, we adjourn the special meeting of the school board, Monday, May 3rd at 6:50. Look at the